It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, on the channel today, we are taking a look at music from the band Renaissance, and I am happy that you are here, although this is a sad occasion that is prompting me to look at music from Renaissance today. This is a band that I hadn't even heard about, y'all, before starting the Daily Doug. My introduction to their music was a beautiful song called Things I Don't Understand, and then I got to hear their live at Carnegie Hall performance of Scheherazade and conduct a lengthy interview with vocalist Annie Haslam. That is all available here on the YouTube channel. I've also looked into their song, A Song for All Seasons, with the help of a musical score. I have found their music to be so tasteful and full of spirit and great technique. They are a true melding of rock music and a classical approach, and I have very much enjoyed listening to their music over the years. Last month, though, right as I was starting to wind down things for the year on the channel, I got word that John Camp, the longtime bass player of Renaissance, had passed away. And there were many members of our community who reached out to me and who were mourning and were asking me to prepare an episode where we paid tribute to John. And that is what I am up to today, my friends. On our Patreon site, I have had the privilege of reviewing other songs from Renaissance that have not yet made it here to YouTube. And one of these is their song, Ashes Are Burning. And specifically, it's the extended live version of the song that they performed to close their set at Carnegie Hall back in June of 1975, an historic concert, and we get the great privilege of being able to listen to it. It was recorded, not video recorded, for some reason, but the audio recording is quite wonderful. And this is the song, Ashes Are Burning, from their Carnegie Hall performance that I would like to share with you on today's episode. I recorded this reaction back in August of 2023 for our Patreon audience. And during this extended performance, we are going to hear John's talents on full display. At one point, he's the only person on the stage playing, and the crowd is enthusiastically clapping along. I mean, think about that. You're with your best mates, you're on a historic stage in New York City, and you're the only one playing, and the crowd's going nuts. That is a mountaintop experience as far as I'm concerned. So let's get to it, y'all. We're going to hear Annie Haslam on lead vocals, Michael Dunford on guitars, John Tout on keyboards, Terrence Sullivan on the drums, and John Camp on the bass. And of course, all of them are singing and providing backing vocals as well. I very much enjoyed this one, and so let's take a listen to and pay tribute to bassist John Camp with Ashes Are Burning from Renaissance. But we're going to move on, y'all, to the next song in our countdown. We're getting there. We're getting close, and there's only two left, and they're biggies, y'all. We're going to go to Renaissance and their song, Ashes Are Burning. This one's been on the list for a long time, and I actually have almost programmed it a few times, and then something else happened. And so I'm really pleased to get back to this one and that it got so many upvotes. So what have we heard from Renaissance? We heard Can You Hear Me on the last Songs from the Master List video. That was back in January. I have also heard and reviewed Things I Don't Understand, one of my favorites, Song of Scheherazade, wonderful Mother Russia, A Song for All Seasons. We did a behind the score on that one, and that was great. And lest we forget, a very special interview with Annie Haslam herself. That is still available on the YouTube channel. Regarding the version that we're going to listen to, there have been calls for me to listen to the studio version, and there's been calls for me to listen to the Live at Carnegie Hall version of this song. I am going with the live version, as it was the version that was originally submitted. I'm sure I'll listen to the regular studio version, but specifically this live concert version was the one that was suggested to us. So that's the one that I'm going to go with. Ashes Are Burning is the title track from their fourth album. It was released in 1973. I'm recording this at the end of August, right? They were finishing recording this album about 50 years ago to the day. It said online that they finished up recording at the end of August of 1973. This song concluded the album, and it was the album's longest at over 11 minutes. So in the Live at Carnegie Hall double album, Ashes Are Burning takes up the entire fourth side, and it comes in at 23 and a half minutes, friends. The original is 11 minutes, and this one is 23 and a half, more than double. I have been told that the main difference between the versions' lengths comes from the extra inclusion of solos here in this live version. The concert was recorded in June of 1975 at Carnegie Hall in New York City. We've got Annie Haslam on lead vocals, Michael Dunford on guitars and backing vocals, John Tout on keyboards and backing vocals, John Camp was on bass and backing vocals, Terrence Sullivan is on the drums and backing vocals. It's great that they all sing, right? And they are assisted by members of the New York Philharmonic with conductor Tony Cox. So strap in, y'all. This is going to be a long one, a side-long selection here in our next to last song on the countdown. It's Ashes Are Burning, live by Renaissance. Off we go. Hey. That's D minor.
Travel the days of freedom, roads leading everywhere. Come with me now, show me. Follow the dying embers, cross on the paths they lay. Breath of the past,
All that's been static over D. Major 4. Major 1 over F sharp to the 2 chord. And it goes back to minor. So they switched it from D minor to D major and then back for that little section. So the verse was in minor, the chorus was in major. Same move. That's D major. Circle sway, echo yesterday, ashes burning. Ashes burning, and they move back to D minor. D suspended. Yeah, why not a vocal solo? That was flat 6 and flat 7 and 1, major 1. Flat 6. Flat 7 to 1. Still still major. It's cool they gave Annie a little solo section. Lovely. Syncopated 4. 1, 2, 3, that riff was over the 5th of that chord. If this is what we're going to be treated to, I'm not going to mind that this is 23 minutes long. Back and forth between A and D for this solo section. You know, this is listed last on the live album. It's the last side before. And I wonder if this was the last song that they did at the concert, and they took an opportunity to take a title track, already a long track, from one of their recent albums, and just open it up for solos like they would do towards the end of a regular concert. Makes sense to me. Love it. Kind of swung. Same tempo, just a little shuffle beat, right? 2, 3, 4. I could do a regular groove. Yeah, let's give this is John, right? Yeah, John. Let's give John a solo. We've had a keyboard solo. We've had a little Annie scat singing. Had some keyboards. Bass. The Carnegie Hall crowd is into it. And good for them, they're clapping on 2 and 4. sad you lost him. And it gets a little more syncopated. It's harder to follow exactly where, as an audience member, where he wants that beat to be. Way to, is that a different key or just a different feel? The whole band is out. Just sounds like he's tuning his motorcycle. Hope he gets it running. Made it to E, then to D, then to C. Woo. It's 1, flat 7, flat 6 in E minor. A minor, that's a B, C, D. It's going to go all the way to E, I think, at some point when he finishes this. It's the equivalent of going to the 4 chord. Cool. As he's doing that, some harmonics and the band starts to come back in. No, it's fa, sol, la, te. But it could just be on A now, because it's been doing it. They've been doing it for so long. So if this was in the sheet music, they may have had like nothing there, like, you know, don't play for a while because John's gonna go all over the place in solo. But when he gets to this rising motive in A minor, you know, that's when we can come back in, and that's our cue. Turn into a jam band. Awesome. flat 6. Flat 2. Whoa. That was smooth, y'all. A couple of secondary dominants got us up to E, and now back to where they were on the B chord. G. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Whenever you have that descending major third, you can fill them in with those chromatics, the half steps. That's the C. C sharp to D, to D sharp, to E minor, where they did that before. Da-da-dee-da-bum. Yeah! Now they're doing it over E. Rock it. Where's that gonna go?
Imagine the burning embers. They glow below and above. Your sins you won't remember, and all you find there is love.
Your sins you won't remember, and all you'll find there is love.
Ashes are burning brightly. The smoke can be seen from afar. So now you're seeing how far ashes are burning the way.
Ashes are burning the
Ashes are burning the way.
She sings with such bright vowels, but she's got so much space in her vocal mechanism for resonance. It's a real unique sound. Just makes me happy to hear it. There's also not a lot of vibrato, a very straight toned singer. It takes a lot of air to do that. And a lot of control over what you're doing vocally. It's not easy. think that was a high C. Sounds like they're into an outro now. Be curious to see how long they do this. I love this, by the way. And I would have loved it the same if I was listening to the studio version, I think. Which I will. Her voice has such a lovely sound to use orchestrationally, right? Almost like another instrument in the texture. It's got such great color. And good for them for making use of her voice in that way. A lot of leadership in this sound from the bass player, from John Camp. Hard vowel. For the last minute or so, minute or two, I've been reading through the lyrics again and see if I can get a sense for what they're after. It's a life-altering experience to be on the stage. I've had the pleasure 3 or 4 times
Thank you very much
now.
indeed. Hope to see you all again very soon. Thank you for being such a great audience. Good night.
That was their last tune. Remarkable. Remarkable. I loved it. Loved it. So thanks to all of you for voting this one in. It's quite a beautiful metaphor, right? Ashes are burning. The ashes, I think, represent what is past, our past, and I think the burning represents our intentions or our present circumstances, right? It's about recognizing, I think, the natural cycles of life and having the courage to clean our mind, clear our mind, and start anew. And our future will burn bright, you know, with the glow of those past experiences. It's just circle of life kind of thing. And it's just reminding us those ashes are with us, but they're, and they're in our past, but they're still affecting and influencing the way that we interpret our present and the way that we set our intentions, right? Wonderful. Wonderful. It gets me emotional every time I hear it. It's so good, isn't it? And you can just see in your mind's eye the band doing their thing. And, the Carnegie Hall stage, it's a real special place, y'all. I've had the great opportunity several times in my life to be able to be on stage performing. And each time it's so special, such a special place. So John featured on every Renaissance album from 1972's Prologue to 1983's Timeline. He also featured on Annie's 1977 debut solo album, and he often worked with Roy Wood during the 70s and 80s. He's got a long career of great music and just working with really, really wonderful musicians around him. Let us not forget, too, that he famously sang the male lead for the Renaissance version of the Song of Scheherazade, which was quite great as well. After he died, Annie and Terry posted a lovely tribute to John on the band's Facebook page, and this is what they said. They said, it is with great sadness that John Camp, our incomparable bass player, has passed away. John played a huge role in the band with his unique, powerful, yet emotional bass playing, occasional acoustic guitar parts, singing, and of course, songwriting. Terry and I had a long conversation, both of us stunned by the news. We talked about the early days in the band, the fun we had together, but more importantly, creating unique, dramatic, and the most beautiful music one could ever wish for. Then we had all the excitement of touring, especially performing at Carnegie Hall and then at the Royal Albert Hall with all of our parents having their own boxes. How about that? So then they say that his favorite song was Ashes Are Burning, which Terry and I have chosen as a tribute, an amazing bass solo. And guess what? They picked the exact same track that we just listened to. Yeah, it's a great one. It's a great one. They end with this. John, we will see you again somewhere out there and make more heavenly music. Love, Annie and Terry. It's a sad thing, y'all, that some of these great bands of this great decade, the 70s, we're 50 years on now from that decade, and mortality is staring a lot of us in the face, So it's tough when these heroes, these musical heroes of ours, end up passing on. But the great thing is the art that they leave behind, their voice, their musical and their unique personhood voice stays with us, and it continues to be heard. And so we lift a glass, at least for me metaphorically today, and pay tribute to John Camp, the great bass player and songwriter who performed most prominently with Renaissance. Rest in peace, John. Thank you for your art and for your contribution to our society and to our lives. So I just wanted to take some time today to listen to this great music and to pay tribute to John. And I'm thankful for y'all for tuning in and spending some time with me in this quest. So thanks for being with me. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.